recording. Okay. For example, consider this question, yeah. During the fall, what causes the leaf to change color? Well, there are many reasons, yeah. For example, plants may integrate anti-freeze on their leaf to prevent it from freezing, but one of the explanation is because during the fall, the green chlorophyll pigment, okay, let's read the second statement here. The green chlorophyll pigment greatly reduced, okay. Now, as the green color is diminished over time, other spectrum of color, other color or other photosynthetic pigment will start to be visible. Okay. So as the green chlorophyll are greatly reduced, other pigment start to appear. They actually already there all the time. Okay, but the color is is less dominant. Okay, or the color cannot compete with the green color of the chlorophyll. Okay, now one of the photosynthetic pigment, other photosynthetic pigment is the carotenoids. This is the molecules that or the pigments that gives the fall leaves its color, because carotenoids are either red, orange, or yellow. Okay. Okay. Naturally, carotenoids is also a pigment that can be found in many incorporated in other part of plant structure. So not only the leaf. For example, in carrot, which part of the carrot there is high in carotenoids? Bagian apanya? What part of the carrot that high? Of course, it's the root. Because the thing that you eat, I mean the carrot itself is a root, right? In fact, carotenoid get the name from here. The carotenoid and carrot is beta carotene, by the way. Carotenoids is a group of pigments actually. So carotenoids itu satu grup, jadi isinya banyak. Salah satu anggotanya beta carotene or provitamin A can be found mostly in carrot. That's why back then when we discuss about nutrients in grade 8, we learned that many foods there is high in vitamin A is the fruit or vegetables that have red or yellow coloration, right? Remember that? Jadi carrot, papaya, all things red, all things yellow. Okay, guarantee you there's a lot of vitamin A. Okay, probably not guarantee, but most of the time. So again, kenapa harus ada other pigments? Why does the plant needs other photosynthetic pigment? As I mentioned before, okay, they want to absorb as much energy as possible. So ideally, this graph should be like this. Jadi semua warna bisa diserap secara optimal. Karena warna dalam hal ini adalah light energy. So it's not just merely color, but it's light energy. Okay. Now let's see what beta carotene makes or change the diagram, change the graph. Let's see. So carotenoid. So if we consider this graph, for example, as you say, you have this usual twin peaks of chlorophyll, okay, but now by adding carotenoids, more spectrum of color is now being absorbed. Okay, now by looking at this graph, can you tell me what color is best absorbed by carotenoids, Michael? You can see the graph, right, Mike?
Blue and blue.
Apa? Blue dan apa? Ya, di blue lah,
Green.
light blue ya. Oke, nih sekitar sini. Oke, tadinya kan blue yang sekitar sini, sekarang light blue. Atau sebenarnya ada nama lainnya sih. What is the name for this? Cyan ya, right? Oke, cyan. Cyan or magenta? Not so sure. Yeah. So by adding more photosynthetic pigment, the plants can absorb broader, okay, range of uh, light spectrum, okay, uh, which is good for a plants. Okay, plants will be more happy to do that. Okay, next. Going to skip this. Ini sebenarnya udah saya sembunyiin ya, kenapa ada di sini. Anyway, so this is the fundamental question, yeah. If in the previous slide we talk about the technical sides, the equation and whatnot, now the fundamental question: why do you need energy? Okay, now energy is needed because the difference between living things and non-living things is, in living things everything is organized, okay, because as later when you die, okay, because obviously everyone will die, right after you die your body will start to decompose, your body will start to disintegrate, your body will start to lose the complexity, okay, and if you and what happen if you live, or if you give enough time to the decomposed or to the decayed corpse, what happen? It will turns back to whatever components it is, ya. Kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia atau dalam bahasa sehari-hari istilahnya dari tanah kembali ke tanah. Okay, so human by composition is mostly just carbon. So yeah, we will turn back to that. So it means we become less complex. Now, in order to increase our complexity, in order to maintain that complexity, we need energy. Okay, that's why everything needs energy, and the energy that drives the life on Earth, that makes life on Earth possible, mostly came from the sun in the form of sunlight. Sun is quite amazing actually in this regards, because only a small fraction of energy that the sun is producing is 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 getting to the earth, yeah, or the sun that the earth experience, okay, it's only a several fraction, yeah, less than less than 1%, I might say, okay, because space is very, yeah, very fast, okay, and the position of the sun and the earth is actually quite far. So yeah, imagine all that energy, okay, that the sun produce, okay, because even only the small fraction that you know that enters the earth system, it is enough, okay, to kickstart all the life, okay, until it evolve into the forms that we know and recognize and love, okay, which is today, yeah, the life forms that we know today, with cat, dog, pigs, okay, humans and whatnot. Okay, now does it mean that the life cannot exist outside or without uh, sunlight? The answer is no, actually, yeah, because there's many instances where um, life is thriving even in the absence of sunlight. So for example, in this hydrothermal vents, Okay, now this is a hydrothermal fence. Okay, hopefully you can see. This located deep under the surface. Okay, we're talking about thousands of meters, and in that depth, of course, sunlight cannot penetrate. But as you can see here, uh, life, okay, make their way to this place. What you are seeing is worm. Okay, so this is a tube worm, and the water is very hot, as you can see here. Why the water is very hot? Because this is the hot spot for volcanic activity. Okay, remember that our Earth is still very active. Yeah, the crust is still moving above the mantle and so on. Okay, so it means the volcanic activity will find their way through the crust at some point on the ocean. Yeah, now this is one of the points, and you can see uh, this community has lots of organism, including this crab. So what is the producer in this ecosystem? Kira-kira produsernya siapa ya? Karena bukan plants pastinya. I'm going to ask some of you. Siapa ya? Arnold.
Other praiser.
Saya ulangin pertanyaannya ya. So my question is, who is or what is the producers, okay, of this ecosystem? Karena bukan tanaman kan? Apa tuh kira-kira? Kira-kira aja, salah nggak apa-apa. Apa Arnold?
It's not LJ ya, sir.
Algae, okay, close enough. Nah, sebenarnya itu bakteria, ya. Thank you Arnold ya. But yeah, close enough. Kalau algae itu masih photosynthetic organism, ya. Mereka memang producer, but they still need sunlight. Okay. So in this case, the job or the role of producer is taken care by the bacteria, and the process is no longer photosynthesis. The process is known as chemosynthesis. What is the difference between photosynthesis and chemosynthesis?
Photo is using light, chemo is using chemical.
Betul. Saya mau nulis sintesis susah amat sih, sintesis. Satunya foto. Betul. Jadi masalahnya hanya di energinya berasal dari mana. Okay. For chemosynthesis, the energy came from the chemical, okay, that dissolve in the water near the fence. For photosynthesis, obviously, is from the light energy. But I guess this is the primary ways on how organism make their food. Saya nggak tahu ada alternatif lain apa enggak. Tapi kemungkinan mungkin ada nggak di planet lain, organisme lain melakukan hal yang seperti ini. Ya mungkin aja. Okay. But as far as we know, we can derive energy from light, we can derive energy from chemicals. And by we, I mean the organism on Earth, not human, unfortunately. Okay then. And then the plants store energy in the chemical bonds of sugar. So what is chemical bonds? Are you familiar with with these terms? Chemical bonds? Okay, consider H2O for example. H2O is a molecule of water. Terdiri dari apa H2O? Ya, oxygen and hydrogen. Mereka nggak nggak nyebar. Okay, they're not disintegrate because they are connected with something that we call bond. Okay. Chemical bond. CO2 misalnya, COO. Nah, kalau antara C dan O, bondnya ada dua, double bond. Now, the general idea is the more atoms that make up a molecules, the more energy that you can harvest from them later. Sugars, atomnya ada banyak. Ya, coba sekarang saya tanya, how many atoms in the molecules of glucose misalnya? Siapa yang bisa jawab? Joshua. Hey Josh.
Yes, sir.
How many atoms in the molecules of glucose?
How many?
How many atoms? Now glucose
Glucose
is
is
C6H12O6, right?
H12.
How many
6.
atoms that make up glucose
So
molecules?
is it just 24, sir?
Of course, yes, you are correct. Jadi ada 24 molecules. More molecules meaning more bond meaning more energy that can be harvested later. That's why the plants produce sugar. Apart from that, sugar is very simple. Okay. Jadi kamu tahu kalau sugar itu highly energetic ya. It's high in energy. And in fact, you can make rocket fuel out of sugar. Okay. Because it's very energetic. Namanya ya sugar rockets. Mana ya? Ini kali. So you can add sugar with some other chemicals, okay, and then compact them, and then so see the reaction is very violent, yeah. So actually this thing can drive up rockets, okay, homemade rockets of course, not SpaceX types rocket, for obvious reason, because the energy density is not that high, but sugar is pretty close. Okay, so sugar, water, potassium nitrate, and so on. Okay, yeah, so you can find everything. You can learn how to make anything in YouTube, yeah, even bombs, but do not search for it. Okay, anyway, and then how the energy in the sugar is released, then how the organism managed to release the energy in the sugar. The answer is cellular respiration. So remember that cell respiration, the reaction is sugar, okay, and oxygen, and you end up with water and carbon dioxide. Okay, and this is the opposite of photosynthesis. Of course, you know this already. I'm just pointing that out. Okay. Okay, so the product, okay, in a chemical reaction, remember that this is the reactant, and this is the product. Okay, so we can say that the product of photosynthesis, which is sugar and oxygen, is used as a reactant in the cell respiration. Okay, and the product of cell respiration, which is water and carbon dioxide, will be used as a reactant for photosynthesis. So it means this reaction complete each other, the circle is complete, everyone is happy, and this process can continue on and on and on as long as apa? Jadi photosynthesis dan cell respiration itu bisa jalan terus sampai apa? What is the limit? What is the factors that limiting this process? When did this will stop? When did this connection or relation will stop? When there's no more sunlight. Okay, because in order to enable this, you need sunlight. But our sun will not die out. Not in the near future, yeah. Our sun is already old, ya, several billions old. Saya nggak tahu, mungkin 5 billion, and it's still in the half of their lifetime. Okay, after this the sun will start losing the gravity, and then it will start expanding into something that we call red giant. And when that happens, the earth will be consumed. because the diameter of the sun will grow, okay, and engulf the orbit of the Earth. But that's still very very long, okay. So it means until that time came, the process of photosynthesis and respiration will keep moving, okay, will keep complementing each other, okay. It's such a perfect system, such an important reaction, and that's why we learn about them, okay, because it is important, okay. So we are able to respect them. Okay, and my time still have 3 minutes. Okay, yeah. We skip this also. Skip. So, just recap. This is the two parts of photosynthesis: the light reaction that requires light. Okay, the function of the first reaction, or the function of this first step, is to produce ATP and NADPH. Okay, or energy. Because the second step will use this energy to fixate. Carbon fixation means from gaseous form to solid. What's in the gaseous form? CO2. What's in the solid form? Glucose. Because glucose is also have lots of carbon, right? Okay. So the second stage of the photosynthesis uses energy produced by the first step. Okay, so again, it just makes sense like that. Okay, guys, so I guess that's it, the explanation for today. So what are you going to do after this? Because I have less than 2 minutes. Go to your classroom, Google Class. Okay, and in the Google Class you can find the assignment for today. The title for the assignment is the same, masih photosynthesis ya, tapi itu beda. Oke, kalau kamu lihat 1 minute. Yeah, the date is for today. Ini apa sih, 9 Joshua. Ya saya ya. Ini ya, saya udah bikin ya, tuh. Fotosintesis, ada 30 soal. Due date-nya pasti panjang ya. Oh, udah ada yang turn in. Siapa nih? Arnold. Oh, hebat loh Arnold. Yeah, for the others I will be waiting ya. Okay. So I guess that's it. My time has come. Okay, until we meet again. Don't forget to stay healthy. Okay. Keep on your prayer. Oh iya. Ya sebenarnya kita harus ada doa penutup ya, tapi waktunya kurang dari 1 menit ya. Takutnya nanti kepotong. Ya udah, doa sendiri-sendiri ya. Oke. Okay, then until we meet again. God bless you. Don't forget to
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, goodbye. Jangan lupa dikerjain.
Bye, sir.
Siap.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Bye, sir.
Ya. Dah, pas mati.